Hey guys, welcome back to the garden. Send help, I'm going under. These past couple of days I have been weeding because my back is finally sort of not acting up. So you see I have nettles everywhere. That's about the height of myself. And they are smothering some of the berry bushes I have growing here. So these are aronias, and you can see they are tiny and struggling because they have been covered in nettles this height. And this is the result of a perfect storm, I think, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about this perfect storm and also the silver linings in all of this growing. So it's, I think in the food forest there's always editing going on, and we love nettles, we eat them every day, but they can take over a space if they are allowed to. And normally I pull these out. I don't dig them out, but I pull them out every second year or so. I didn't do it last year, and probably I didn't do it the year before that. So I would have done it in spring, but my back was acting up, and this means that I didn't. And on top of that, we had the wettest winter and a very wet spring, so everything is growing like crazy, including the weeds. And this is like, it is a crop, but it's also a weed. And I'm allowing it in a lot of places and just reducing it a little bit to allow some of my other things growing together with the nettles and other things to sort of have power enough to withstand the nettles. But I mean, I'd like to show you this. Look at this pile. This is this is a couple of days work. It's mainly nettles. It's also, I go through the gardens, it's also a specific kind of thistles that I really don't want that's spreading like crazy if I don't pull it out before it seeds. It's called agertissel in Danish. I don't know what it is in English. And then, as you maybe the keen eye will see, that I also have these Japanese knotweed. And I'm taking those out once in a while. I'm not doing it religiously as some people would, because they are also edible, and who knows, we might need them in the future to eat. We do eat a little of them in spring, but not a lot. But they can be quite invasive, so I think they need to be kept in check. But I mean, this is like maybe 1/10 of what I need to do. It's crazy. But I think there are several silver linings in this. And first of all, we have nettles enough to keep us with that for a couple of years. I think we are not starving. And these will go on the compost, and they are full of good stuff that returns to the soil, just in another place than where they were growing. That's wonderful. And some of these things will grow back, and it will fill out, especially with this creeping comfrey. It will move into where the nettles were and fill the spaces, I hope, and be less of a problem for the small bushes growing here. Also, I've had really interesting experiences with being stung by so many nettles for a couple of days. So I think in old times, nettles were considered to be helpful against arthritis. So you would, if you had arthritis in your knees, you would walk through a field of nettles, and it would help the arthritis. So I'm not going to have any kind of arthritis for I think for a couple of months. Not that I have, but I think it's interesting. And it's also interesting to, actually, it doesn't hurt but it's an interesting experience in the skin. So when I wash my hands, I come back in, I wash my hands, I reactivate all the places I've been stung, and sometimes at night they also reactivate by themselves. And yeah, I just think it's an interesting experience to be to be having, and I think it's all fine. And I also really enjoy this kind of weeding, not the nitpicking, not the small bits, but this, it looks like I've done a lot, and I have, but I think this would fill a trailer actually. So I don't know, yeah, I'll have to move this soon. But that's the weeding. I want to show you something else that's also special for this growing season. And because we have strong winds, as you can see, we also have quite a lot of rain, and it's quite cold. This means that when we have the strong winds, all the trees are full of leaves and fruits and stuff like that. They get trashed when they're wet, and the wind comes, then they actually break. And I want to show you, let me see, as you can see, more piles lying all over the place. Oh, and an honorable mention, look at these roses. That's another silver lining. The roses this year have just been flowering, and they are so beautiful and crazy big flowers, and the leaves look really healthy and all of those wonderful things. And have you ever experienced that? I mean, when you kiss a rose or you smell a rose, even if it's really a hot day, the roses are always cool to the touch. I think that's really interesting. I don't know why, and I don't know how they do it. Oh, look at this. So there's a baby in here. I love this rose. It has tiny specks on the petals. I think that's so beautiful, and nice color combination there. Okay, so this is, I mean, we have to duck to get in. This again, I have been weeding and pulling sticky willies out, and it's just, it's everywhere. But this is a Siberian pea tree, and it's one of my nitrogen fixers in this area. But as you can see, the weight of the leaves and the seed pods and everything has actually broken these, and I have to take them out. And I think, well, it's a pity in a way, but it's also good luck, bad luck, who knows. It's very much just allowing that to happen. There's a reduction, meaning that we will have more light coming in here, so it's a good thing for whatever is growing in, other than the sticky willies, whatever is growing in the ground layers. So I think I'm more and more surrendering to that as part of how the food forest is now sort of deciding its own shape. And apparently these branches were not meant to stay like that, and maybe it's going to mean that I have to take all of this out and maybe plant something else, or allowing the ground layers to do their thing and then see what happens with that. It's a surrender, and I'm editing, but I also find that the food forest is actually doing some editing itself, and it's interesting to follow. I think that's it. That's what I wanted to tell you today, and I'll continue with my my weed pulling. So thanks for watching, guys, and see you later.